All right, let's welcome the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney. We're going to have Rob Waldemar, our Executive Chairman of Martin, introduce and have a word.
All right. How's everybody doing? I want to thank all the people from Martin Allfield and all the other people from the other parts of Martin here for putting on a good show again. We are the host of all kinds of prime ministers, as you can tell, and it's really great that we have. Well, we had one 2 months ago, the former one, and I think we put up a really good show. What you see here is effectively, you know, the broad swath of people that we have here. We have a tremendous diversity in this plant. I'm of the view that a company's not a great company because of its diversity. It has diversity because it's a great company. And I think that's true of our country as well. And I think we can all be proud. You see Canada here. We know that Canada's got its challenges. It's got its opportunities. We thank you for your leadership. We know it's a leadership campaign, a tough campaign. Francesco, it's great to be here in your region. We see you a lot, which is great. Really cares about our company and in our district. These are interesting times, challenging times, but for the people around here, we have one of our principles. You know, challenges make us better. And this plant has been, since 2001 when we started, it has grown. It has seen many challenges in 2008 and 9. It's seen a COVID challenge. This was a plant that was heavily involved in making level 3 masks for people around the world, and also ventilator stands. This was tremendous. And so the spirit of Martin represents the spirit of Canada. We know you know that, and why don't I turn it over to you to say a few words? And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rob. Thank you, Martin. It is a thrill for Francesco and I to be here. I didn't know you knew when I used to play hockey, AC/DC. That was our warm-up tune, Thunderstruck. It's amazing. You guys know everything. You know everything. Yeah, it sort of dates us, doesn't it, a bit, Rob? But hey, that was big when we were young. Look, I'm thrilled to be here and just to spend a few moments with this amazing company. Who you are, what you represent, as you just said, the diversity of Canada, but also the future of Canada. And I just want to say a couple of words about the situation we're in with the situation with the trade war, so to speak, with the United States and what it means. And it just goes back to what was just said, the opportunity that's created by tough times. I know the story, but it's great to be here about how you repurpose this factory and these people when we were all hit with COVID, and how you serve the world. And it's a remarkable story. Now, on one level, what's going on with the tariffs, and we got, as you know, the auto tariffs this week from the United States, that's tough. That's tough. But this is an enormous opportunity for this company, for this country, and I think ultimately for America. And I just want to say a few words about what our strategy is right now and how that fits in. We're doing 3 things. We're going to fight, we're going to protect, and we're going to build. And all of them are important. Now, yeah. So that fight, the fight started with getting respect from the United States. Canada is a sovereign country. It doesn't matter who's in this role. There's only one title for the person who's in the role, my predecessor, myself. Whoever comes after me, it's Prime Minister. It's not the thing that begins with G, but it's that we're a sovereign country. Now, we have that respect from the president. That's the first step. But the core of fighting at the moment is matching in an intelligent way. You can't be quite intelligent in some of the software that you guys are producing, but in an intelligent way against the tariffs that are being put in place. And so what we're doing is to have a maximum impact on the U.S., so it gets their attention, it makes them think, it makes them react, but the minimum impact on us here in Canada. So, for example, for the auto sector that you're leaders in, we're not putting tariffs on auto parts. We're not putting tariffs on smart machines that make auto parts. We're not putting tariffs on software. We're not putting tariffs on anything that's part of your business that will make you successful, because we want you and those who work with you to be successes. We are putting tariffs on American vehicles that come into Canada and have unfair advantage in Canada and competing with us. But even there, we're giving those American companies an incentive to produce in Canada, to produce in Mexico, so they can get relief. So we're fighting in a way that makes the Americans think and protects our businesses. Now, the second thing we're doing is to protect our workers and protect our companies for the period of time it takes for the American government, the president ultimately, to realize what an amazing industry that you are leaders in. The North American auto sector as a whole is one sector. We are fighting the world as one sector. We have to stick together. In fact, we have to get closer together. And ultimately, that's the deal we will get. But until America's willing to sit down at the table for that, we got to protect workers, we got to protect companies. And those aren't just words. We're taking every dollar we get from tariffs that we put on, and we're recycling it back directly to the workers and companies that are affected. So there are layoffs that have started in the industry. Some of your clients, Stellantis, for example, a couple weeks downtime at one of their factories. We're making sure that money goes to make sure those workers are made whole. We're also saying, and this is not an issue for the leading companies, but for some it will be, you don't have to pay your taxes for a while. You have to pay them ultimately when things get going again, or you can borrow directly from us to tide yourself over. Again, protecting the industry so that we can negotiate as a country from a position from strength. Last point, most important point. Ultimately, this is about building. It's about building our country. It's about building this industry. It's about building homes. It's about building new trade corridors. It's about making us more efficient. And we are going to focus 100% on that. We're going to get a lot of government out of the way in order to do that. Any dollar we put in place, it's going to catalyze the industry. So we announced last week, don't worry, I'm winding up. I'm not going to go on longer than Thunderstruck. But last week we announced $2 billion of money to help accelerate the transformation of exactly what Martinrea does and the supply chain, the broader supply chain does in Canada, to enhance the use of AI, to enhance the use of smart manufacturing equipment, to build the supply chains in Canada, because we want to be ready to take on the world once we get this deal. So we're fighting, protecting, we're putting ourselves in the place to build, and we're going to move forward. And it's going to be, it's going to be a rocky few months. Because it's going to take a while for the Americans to come to a realization that they can change parts of the trading system, but they're going to need to double down. We're all better off doubling down on an integrated auto sector. And this company and the Canadian industry is going to come out on top as part of that. And that's what your government is here to deliver for you. Thanks very much for everything.
Thank you. We're going to have a group photo. Let's walk this way. Yes. All right, let's